So, I wanted to start out by talking, giving a little backstory around this particular title. Um, and for those of you all that don't know anything about social audio, just please bear with me. But I wanted to at least start off this particular series by indicating one of the trends that I'm seeing in social audio that can potentially be detrimental to your progress if you are not an entertainer. Okay, so if you're an entertainer on social audio, this may not necessarily be relevant to you, but it can be. Um, and I want to definitely make sure that you are aware that there are different platforms um, available to people that are doing social audio. Okay, um, you you want to make sure that you understand one, the ecosystem of the platform, and I'm not going to go into the technical capabilities of each platform, but you must be aware that not every platform is created equal, and you want to make sure that you are um, doing things in the best of your ability to achieve your particular goal, whatever that is, right? So, but one of the things that I've noticed in being in social audio over 2+ years is that um, it's it's kind of like traffic in a particular city. Okay. And what I mean by traffic is the highway traffic as well as the inner city traffic. Now, I know depending on where you live, that traffic may be it may be congested, especially during rough rush hours, right? Typically, rush hours are, depending on the city, like sometimes between 7 to 9 and 4 to 6, right? That's typically when you look nationally, and I'm in the U.S., so it may be different depending on where you live in the world. But I wanted to give that analogy because a lot of people fail to realize that there are certain times of the day that social audio it that actually thrives, right? And I'm not saying that those are the hours that correlate to social audio, but I'm just using it as an example. Okay. Now there is a subcategory to that, right? You have those that within those particular rush hours, you have particular rooms that will thrive, right? And without calling out a particular or creators, right? Or singling out some creators, I've and this is on multiple platforms, by the way. I've noticed that when certain creators actually open rooms, regardless of what time it is, right? Um, they will have a a a showing, right? Meaning people show up to their rooms, and that's a good thing, right? Um, now going back to the title, that leads me to talk about where are those people when those creators are not creating rooms, right? They're probably playing hooky in the hallway, right? And what do I mean by hooky? When you're probably growing up in school, the teacher was like, well, if you had a particular school or class that you didn't like going, you had a particular teacher and you didn't like going to the class, you would probably play hooky, right? Of the class, you would skip the class. Or if you didn't like school at all, you would skip school, right? So in essence, you have a certain portion of people in social audio that one will, and I'm not saying that I have to be the person for everybody to come to my particular room. I am not that naive, right? But I've noticed that when it comes to larger rooms, there are users that will only visit a particular room by a particular creator, right? And I think that's good for that creator, right? But me being kind of new to social audio, it leads me to think it's like, okay, well, it seems as if they have an affinity to this creator, right? Which is a good thing. However, it leads me to not just turn on my analytical brain, but come from the perspective of, because I'm always thinking about scale, right? And scaling, so you have the platform, you have the creator, and you have the content. Okay, so typically the the creator is in between the platform and the content, right? Because in essence, the platform cannot get the content without the creator, right? So when a particular type of creator or certain creators get most of the quote unquote traffic, I'm going back to my traffic conversation, and it seems as if these users on this platform appear out of nowhere, right? It always raises my eye, right? So it leads me to ask you a question. If you're a teacher, going back to my school example, what can you do to prohibit students from skipping your class or playing hooky in the hallway, right? Or they will go to the bathroom and they won't, quote unquote, come to your class. What can you do? Let me know in the comments, because I think it will kind of give you an eye opening. It will kind of open your eyes to, one, is there something you can change? And if not, that's totally fine. But if it is something you can change, I think you can definitely go ahead and make that change sooner rather than later. Because while I'm not a advocate for vanity metrics, right? Meaning I feel better about myself the larger the larger the number of people I have in my room. I'm not that type of guy, but I know how important it can be if you have a particular goal, right? Especially if you're doing things on a consistent basis. So that was Hallway Hooky. All platforms have them, especially in social audio. So let me know what your takeaway was from this particular episode. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.